Hi guys, Paul here from PABrewNews, and today we're going to do one from a company that I've never had before. They're from Western Pennsylvania. They're called Pint. And this is their Rye Rebellion. Sorry about the voice. Have a little bit of a, I don't know if you can see it really good or not. A little bit of a sore throat going on, but just got off of work and we're going to give this a go. Say that Rye Rebellion, Western Pennsylvania has a rebellious past regarding whiskey, especially rye whiskey. In honor of the brave men who stood up to the tax collector, we have created Rye Rebellion, an imperial stout brewed with 4 different types of rye and aged in rye whiskey barrels. What they put down is beer nerd stats. The malts are Pils, Crystal Aromatic, Roasted Rye, Crystal Rye, Flaked Rye, and Chocolate Rye. Hops are Columbus and Tenang. Their IBUs are 55 and alcohol by volume is 11%, so it's a big old boy. FullPipeBrewingCompany.com, or FullPipeBrewing.com rather, brewed and bottled in North Forsyth, Pennsylvania. Let's see. It's aged. Doesn't really state how long it's aged. A handmade brew with revolutionary taste. Full Pint Brewing Company. I don't know. Actually, I'd like to know when it was actually bottled, but I'm pretty sure it's probably a fresh one. As fresh as it can be. So here we go. My first full pint. This is room temperature. Try to save the cap. It's alright. Use my Weltenberger. Ooh, there's a nice smoke that came off that when I poured it. That is a carbon. I don't know if you can hear it or not. This camera's not the greatest, but wow. Carbonated and loud. Let's double check. I have to get my flashlight out. There is no light coming out of this whatsoever. Let's give it a full 0.2 liters. What the hell, right? Let's take it to the top. Woo! There's a lot of... This is my first rye beer ever, so excuse me if I completely screw this up. Crazy. There's a lot of like sweets and sours coming out from the smell. There is definitely roasted malt characteristic popping up, but the flavor, the aromas I'm getting is just weird. They're very bitey, and the sour kind of bite to it with the aromas. Really roasted malts. Sweet and sour kind of mixed together. Slight chocolate hints too. But very spicy on the nose because of, I'm assuming because of all the rye, I'm assuming, and maybe a little bit of the hop base. So, I'm going to get into this. Sweet, creamy, chocolate, and caramel hits, bam, just like that. And then it blends. It blends to this rye. I guess that's the rye. It's amazing, like full-bodied rye flavor, the sourness. It's not like sour, but it's this kind of strange lifting note on it, a high note, and then. It gives this aroma. I have to just call it a rye aroma because I can't really describe it. It lifts up and it's bright, and it has this kind of this different kind of aroma. It takes all the sweetness and this pushes it with this big kind of like tart, sour kind of characteristic, and then it blends again, and then this barrel bourbon comes in too, and then that rye flavor comes in again and mixes with the barrel, while the sweetness kind of just stays back the whole time and just follows everything down. It's like my throat's really shot, but it's probably, this is the most classy and characteristically complex first sip I've ever had out of a Pennsylvanian beer. I'm going to probably say out of a beer ever. So I can't even remember if I took one sip or two now. I think I only took one, so I'm going to give it another one. Try to do the nose again since I kind of vague nose. You're getting this. You're getting this tart. I have to say rye. I should really read up and try rye by itself or whatever. But you get this like sourness, this weird sourness of. I'm assuming it's the rye, but mixed with all these big roasted. I wouldn't necessarily. I guess you can. You get this. You do get a little bit in the aroma, but actually it's basically just behind the rye. That rye kind of quality, it just accents it. The bourbon that you get, or the whiskey rather, is in the back of the mouth after you take your sip, and it kind of fills up into your nostrils. That kind of aroma, like just a little bit of a burn in the aroma. This probably is like the favorite of mine as far as aged beers now, aged in whiskey. I have one aged beer that I consider one of my favorite, and that's Tokyo from BrewDog. Got a question though for anybody who knows. Mine's with an I. O. It's I-K-I-O, and not K-Y-O like everybody in England and whatnot. I basically put down on the internet that mine was K-I-O, and everyone just told me I was wrong. But hey, that looks like an I to me. I mean, K-I-O. So if anybody can tell me why it's spelled like that, just let me know. Maybe because of the batch or the aging or something. But this is excellent. It's got the lighter side of a full mouthfeel. If this had, I mean, it's just what happens with aging. I noticed the more you age a beer, the less of a mouthfeel it might usually have. The aroma's great. I actually like the kind of weird, spicy, sour note from the rye. It's pretty interesting. I don't know. I think I'm so excited that I actually forgot to tell you some things about the beer, but I can't remember. It's silky, but it's a little light. If it was a little bit more on the heavier side, that would be really good. But it doesn't need it. It doesn't need to be. I have to get used to the rye as far as reviewing it, because this is the first time, and this is really the first time I've ever tasted rye in a beer, really, where it was prevalent. So hopefully I didn't screw up too much. This is excellent. Dave, I know your perky bust from Full Pint went kind of sour on you on the trip, but I was going to send you another one if I found it, and I'm going to send you one of these if I find it again, because this is something you definitely need to have. This is excellent. This is my first rye Imperial Stout. This is really good though. I mean, this is excellent. One more taste and then I'll give you my decision. It's excellent. It's really good. I'd like it a little bit more on the mouthfeel, and a lot of the, like any kind of chocolate or coffee notes are there, but they're always just so subtle. But I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. This is, if you see this, you must buy it. Buy it, try it, like it. Right, Terry? This is excellent. Full Pint Brewing Company. This is the first. This is the first beer I've ever had from Full Pint. So, right out of the bat, there it is. The best aged beer on whiskey that I've ever had. Right there. So, ooh, excuse me. I've had a couple on whiskeys, barrels. The whiskey was overpowering. It was in the nose. It was everywhere. It was horrible. It wasn't well done. This is crafted well. This is perfect. I want to give it a little higher. If there was a little bit more of the other characters, a little higher, and if it was a little thicker, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. But you need to try this, everybody. So this has been Paul from PABrewNews. I'll enjoy the rest of this, and cheers.